Dear Lord, please help me to get a Big Mac, BLT, March Madness is about tradition. It's about Cinderella runs and dynasties, fans screaming their lungs at the top of the stadium, and goofing off from work to stream games on our desktops. It's also about a $771 million paycheck for the NCAA and 68 teams trying to win the biggest cut they can. This is the time of year where America celebrates college basketball as a spectacle, and more as a business. In 2010, the NCAA struck a 14-year, $10.8 billion deal with CBS and Turner Broadcasting System for the rights to the tournament. Part of that money eventually devolves down to the teams, some of which have become truly enormous profit generators. At The Atlantic, we wondered what this year's bracket would look like if instead of the on-the-court play, teams won on laws based on their most recent balance sheets. Using data from the Department of Education, we calculated which teams earned the biggest profits during the 2010-2011 fiscal year, then set them up against each other. The Final Four: Louisville, Duke Ohio State, and the University of North Carolina. Your national champion? Louisville, by a long shot. Click the bracket below for a full-size version. The government's numbers have one major flaw for our purpose. Colleges can hide the true cost of running a money-losing team with some fancy accounting, essentially by covering up their losses with dollars from the school's general fund. As a result, many teams appear to finish the year breaking exactly even, despite the fact they're actually in the red. On the bracket, I've marked those programs as unknown losses. While the data won't tell you much about most of the money losers, it will tell you a lot about the money makers. Louisville has been college basketball's earnings leader 3 years running, raking in monstrous $40.89 million in revenue in fiscal year 2010-2011 and $27.55 million in profit. Second place Duke made a total of $28.9 million in revenue, netting $15.1 million. College basketball teams earn income off three main things: ticket sales, donations, and distributions from the NCAA itself, says Transylvania University professor Daniel Folks, who analyzes university athletic department finances on behalf of the NCAA. Ticket sales are the most straightforward part of the equation. Large schools with large stadiums that can pack a crowd have obvious built-in home advantage. Unsurprisingly, 4 of the 5 highest revenue-generating teams this year's tournament, Louisville, UNC, Syracuse, and Kentucky, also led the NCAA in average per-game attendance. But a successful team can get by without massive attendance. Duke, with its relatively modest 9,300-seat stadium, is the second most formidable revenue earner in the tournament. They do it with donations from alumni and boosters. Before Blue Devil fans are allowed to buy season tickets at Cameron Indoor Stadium, they're required to make sizable donations. According to Duke Senior Associate Athletic Director Mike Cragg, the 2 worst seats in the house require an $8,000 gift on top of the ticket price. Fans give all the way to the top. Fans give all the way up to the cost of a year-long scholarship, roughly $55,000. Many other universities have adopted similar practices. Finally, there are the funds the NCAA distributes to the conferences based on their performance in the national championship tournament. Conferences earn money based on the number of games their teams have played in a little big dance during the past 6 years. The more games, the more the conference earns. Last year, the NCAA doled out about $180 million this way. It's up to conferences to split up its haul between its teams. Combined, those 3 categories make up 3/4 of most basketball teams' revenue, Folks says. Now consider Louisville. The Cardinals play in a brand new 22,000-seat Yum Center, where prospective season ticket buyers are essentially required to make donations before they can claim a seat. According to Forbes, the team received more than $20 million in total contributions last year. It also plays in the Big East, which received the single biggest portion of last year's NCAA tournament bounty. Wealthy teams like Louisville only stand to get richer. In the last few years, the top athletic conferences have signed lucrative television deals for football and basketball worth many millions of dollars to each of their member schools. But just like in any other game, earning a nice financial return won't necessarily earn a college basketball team's points on the court. Arizona is sitting out March Madness even though it was the 3rd most profitable school in Division 1A last year, with more than $14 million in net income. Other big spending and big earning schools such as the University of Illinois and Minnesota will also be watching from home. On the other hand, Mississippi Valley State, which operated the last trip despite a shoestring budget of $682,000, got a shot of the tournament. Thankfully, in real life, the big money doesn't always win.